another one. Yeah.
I was going in the truck.
No, you got to start out here. What could be better done here? All right. Involve yourself with him. Hey, Tom.
As I was saying, Andre, we could have had another set of stage, and we're supposed to have 2 sets. We
It's
could
set
have,
up, yeah, but you know, when we were making it, our brains were like, okay, if we don't have enough, let's split what we have between setups.
Yeah.
That's what happened. You know. We should
Now,
have just
this is
sacrificed one setup and.
Now, this is not the conversation. The conversation is, okay, here's what we're doing now. What could we do better? So, good. So, Dan, start over here. Here's what we have.
I discussed the
What
different.
could we do better? Or is it pretty much, this is what you want to see when you're on lifts, right? So you have, use these
You
reds
have a
'cause they
structural
fit.
setup. You have a paint setup. You have
Yeah.
you know everything to make it happen for one guy to make it happen.
One guy to make 3. So it looks like he's going slow, but he's really finishing everything one at a time. But these red things going over, tied off, is everything good, or could we do it better? Is it pretty much all right?
Yeah.
Right? So everything's good. So every time you set one of these up, make sure you have everything you need, and try to have multiple buckets. If they go up just with one thing, that's wrong. So talk about this. So if you find extension cords on the ground, what's that? If we could do it better, what would it be?
We would have had some more long cords. We were.
No. I mean the fact that it's on the ground. So now make sure you got to be a photographer. You're just saying that our paint master is always sweeping the area. You know what I'm saying? That would have been picked up by a paint master if we had that correct, right? It's just general cleanup. It's here, but if we had a properly trained paint master, would that get picked up?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we meant by
about
that.
that one, which is a necessary one.
Yeah. Okay. Talk about this then.
I mentioned the strapping that could have made deployment of the enclosure yesterday much easier.
Yeah, that's one thing. But it also, is this the best place for it, or can we get them into the thing? Do we want to leave our stuff hanging outside in the area? So if you could do it better, where would this be? Out here or in the truck somewhere as part of your setup?
It would be in your truck.
Right. Because you don't want anything floating around. People taking wood. People taking tubes. All right. Let's talk about that setup. How's that setup? Similar to the other one?
Yes.
So you want to have, try to get more of these reds, because these red things on these lifts, they're great because they fit right over the tubes, right? So that's what you want. You want to basically have as many of these setups as possible. All right, let's talk about the electrical setup there.
I discussed that. It could have been set up a little better, a little differently. At the time that we had set up for it, we didn't have aerial lifts, so it definitely could have been done better.
And what would you have done better? Started somewhere else, down by the tube maybe?
I would have ran separate cords to each lift from the.
If you need a station, is she correct? I mean, I don't know what that one is doing down there. Did you start from the top coming down, or did you start from the bottom going up? I mean, how'd you guys set this up?
Started from the top down.
Yeah. Okay. So, talk about this stuff down here. This stuff all over the ground. What if we could have done it better? What would we be doing?
Again, I would have ran one cord to these machines.
No, we're beyond the electrical there. Just all this stuff on the ground. Trip hazards.
Yep.
What would we do better?
Paint master would be picking up, doing the same.
Putting them in where?
In the buckets.
In some buckets, because this thing was just tear open. They'll tear our. So there's a little material over, what's going on here? And tools on the ground. What's this? If we could do it better, what would it be?
Blue top over this thing too?
Yeah, blue top of tools and material all on the floor, and round stock on the floor.
Yeah.
Guys, here's what it is. Tell me, if you had all the time in the world, all the right people, all the money in the world, what would you have here? So I want you to say, oh, I would have my gray box here. I would have more buckets here. I would have extra buckets everywhere so that a tool never hits the ground, because that's how you lose your tools. They get, you know, but if you have buckets and there's no buckets around here, right? So you'd say, hey, I would have a trash bucket for all my material. I would have two or three gray boxes because I have them inside, you know? And nobody ever works anytime ever without buckets, right? That's what I want to hear from you guys. Like, if we were doing it the system, you know, we would do this and this. Right now, just do it. Right now, we're just doing it. But I want to hear from you guys. Oh, if I had the right time and I had the right money and I had the right people, I would do the following. Got it? So let's continue. Tell me about this. What can we do better?
This, it's okay right there. It's the mason tools we're gonna use out there and stuff. So during the setup of the day, we kept it down out here, away from traffic in there, in and out.
What would you like to say out there? How could you improve it?
We're working out of a U-Haul truck. I'm trying to think of a better way of how we would have worked it. Like you said, we needed the floor space in there, so we brought out the hand tools and put them beside the truck.
Okay. This is why, you know, if you look at Dallas, for example, you saw the system in its full capacity. So right now, you know, you guys are not saying what I want to hear. So you say, oh, well, it should have happened here if we had all the time, the money, and the right people in the world. We would have had all those broken black boxes here, because we would never put these tools outside here. So we put them in that broken top black boxes. We put it here and put these all outside. Otherwise, because we have plenty of room in there, we would have put these all inside there and only taken the tools we need to do our thing. We don't need 63 tools over here. And if we did, we'd go inside, get them, because the main thing is when you're using one of these trucks, the systems don't come outside. There's plenty of room. You make it inside. You know what I'm saying? So, what about the plastic? Yeah.
That was set up from yesterday. We just took that out.
So, how can you do it better? You said yes. You just said a little while ago, if I had some wood, it would have been better. You're saying the tubing is not the best all the time?
I could have done it with the tubing too. This was a brick facade building. It was limited on how we could fasten it to the structure.
So how can you do it better? Because you're always going to have brick facade buildings. You're always going to have wood or vinyl side. What's the difference?
The struggle can be anchored.
Right. So we didn't have any mushrooms. Now we have some mushrooms. So the one against the wall has to be anchored, and anchored in such a way that's just a little quarter hole. So that's how you make it better. How it's going to get built is the same thing, pretty much. It's going to be a shed, you know, ropes, and you know, keep the thing from becoming a parachute. But you know, when you're going into this wall, you need to secure it, so you can't just lean it against the wall. So you have to bring fasteners. There's a certain way to secure this to the wall, so that when the winds come, it doesn't become a big mess. So you know what to do with tools. You know what to do with everything on the ground. You know, tell me about this bucket. What about this bucket and that bucket and that black top and that gray bucket over there and those buckets over there? Tell me about those. How can we do it better?
A station, a cold station, an empty box station, bucket station.
Dan?
It could be organized better.
Okay, so you guys are. It does look like you guys are into it. I'm totally into it. I'm totally into that. You know, here's what we're doing today. Here's how we could be doing it better tomorrow. This is that 75-25, guys. It's not, hey, you guys suck today. It's not that. You know, pressure, rain, activity, men, everything will determine what you do today. But you know, we're trying to get this back to a McDonald's system. And what is that? You know what I'm saying? Every day you walk into your McDonald's and you know, you got a guy with his hat on, he's got his uniform, he's wearing jeans. What do you say?
Go home. Go change.
Well, let's say you don't have anybody that day. So what do you say? What do you do? Right? You have no choice but to let the guy work with jeans, but at the end of the day, what do you say?
Come in with pants tomorrow.
You gotta wear your pants tomorrow, otherwise I'm gonna start carrying pants over here. But if all of a sudden, like you said, he's got jeans on and you've got a backup, now what do you say? Don't come back. I mean, you have a backup. All right, let's go inside here. Again, this is just an opportunity for you guys to understand that two things happen. You got your thumb in front of the lens. Andre, talk about this.
Yeah.
Come on in, Dan. This is what we're doing. But how could we made it? How could we have made it better? Or how we can make it better?
Instead of doing the this ladder jack stage, you can just put another table on this side, another plastic table.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about.
And then this can really be the paint area. You know,
Right. But we've done here before. You know, you got the ladder outside, and you take this ladder jack.
Yes.
And if this ladder jack is not working as we speak right now, and we put the ladder here, how can we use the ladder to our advantage?
As a table.
As a table.
Okay.
So we have a ladder outside.
We were
We
using
have
the ladder.
jacks. Yeah, no, I'm just using that as an example.
As an enclosed.
What else? What else could we have done to make it better that we've done on other trucks that you've seen in other movies?
You've seen in other movies?
Yeah.
I don't know. Mats on the ground.
Dan?
I haven't seen many truck setups. I saw one U-Haul trailer.
Good. None? Well, when you look at some of the other ones, again, you have to be very careful in that when you're using the back of a U-Haul truck, you have to protect. This was supposed to be the paint station. Are we really utilizing this like a paint station?
No.
No. So it's here, but you know, it got done because
That
it
was
just
in
needs.
case you rain. You have an
I know.
enclosed things.
Right. But we're still in, right? So
Protected.
once we get these, a lot of times we don't go outside anymore. Very few things go back outside. This becomes the full station inside here because you want to have everything accessible to you, right? So is this being utilized like we utilized the one down in Dallas? And the one in Dallas, did you see us having the two stations, one outside, one inside? Was everything inside here? And the men just went outside and we just had blue tops down. Just trying to make a comparison. So when you watch the Dallas one, you're going to see a lot of things. So
Well, that one in Quincy was the same thing. There's a lot of, EPA stuff, related stuff outside. But there's some action outside.
right.
Most of
So
the stuff is in.
the point that I'm trying to make is that when you do watch the Dallas or the Quincy, and it's a 45 minutes or an hour and a half video, and you play 2-minute clips, and you look at all the great ideas that were on there, you're running at 25% in here with what we're really doing. So you can't be half in and half outside. You can't have, I was trying to look at where the extra empty boxes are. You can't have a stack of empty boxes when we have all kinds of trash all over the floor. You know what I'm saying? You can't have, things on the ground, when we have, we had a concept here. The blue tarp hasn't been cleansed or what do you call it, made safer, you know what I'm saying, so that the wind doesn't blow, because what happens when the wind blows and you got all rust inside on your blue tarp outside? What
It
happens?
blows away.
No, it blows rust into the air and into your eyes.
It's a safety thing, yeah.
So it's a safety thing. So we got a lot. Now, let's take a look at this table. Some things we bought at Home Depot. Backer rod. And I wanted to see how long they'd stay here before anybody would just, say, okay, let's do a cleanse. Watch the video.
I'm watching it.
Because what happens is, this is the thing I talked to you about. You need to have a mommy that is constantly hovering in all the areas. So, am I the mommy hovering in this area? Did anything change or anything get better?
Nope.
Are you the mommy in this area and everything's getting better?
I was up on the lift,
I know. I know.
so I wasn't the mommy, no.
No. Were you the mommy and everything was getting better? Because as soon as you spread this out, what does the mommy do?
Keep it.
Yeah, the mommy now makes sure that everybody's working. Everybody has what they want. The mommy wants to go to work too, but can the mommy close the eyes? Because then what happens? Does this improve or does this stays exactly the way we shoved it in here?
Stays the same.
So we did all that. We did a great, moving of one trailer onto here. But if you don't have the theory of what is the intention here? What happens is it sort of becomes what it is, it stays what it is, and you can leave this here as well as leave it here, over here, or leave it over there tomorrow. Who's going to do something about it? Only the mommy, because everybody else is going to want to just work. Got it? And that's the key. You can't just want to work. Because the only ones that can work is everybody but the mommy. The mommy's going to keep these things, make sure everybody has music, food, coffee, you know. And she'll make sure everybody has paint and bolts and grinders and whatever. Because mommy is constantly putting all the tools in the same toolbox, getting all the drills in the drill, doing all the things that need to be done. So we really need to get back to that Dallas to Quincy, and when you start tearing that apart, you'll get an understanding that you just can't just get to work. Because if 4 people get to work and there's no mommy here, I'll tell you, it's 4 individual people kicking 4 individual balls. It's not really a team effort. It's just 4 people just getting a lot of things done, and something will get done. But everybody's going to work hard because everybody takes care of themselves. Everybody gets their own bolts. Everybody gets their own things. Everybody does their stuff. And who's cleaning up after them? Nobody, right? Who's telling people? He's just painting, right? But who's telling him, hey, pick up all the shit? Who's doing that?
You.
Well, I haven't said anything. Okay? So, any last minute comments? I'll take it from here. Any last minute comments? Any of this made sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. There was confusion in who the mommy was today.
What about yesterday? This was the same thing yesterday. It's not about a today thing. This was the same thing yesterday, man. It'll be the same thing tomorrow if I didn't have this video. And we can all agree today, yeah, we got to do something. And tomorrow comes, what do? We do what we did today. And why is that? Why do we do tomorrow what we're doing today?
Muscle memory on the upkeep.
That's all it is. It's not that you guys don't mean it when you say it. Is that in order for us to rewire you, in the military, why'd they do boot camp with you first? Why don't they just build upon who you are when you come in? Why they shave you and beat you up for 6 weeks?
They want to drill into you.
They break you first to do what?
Remake you.
Then they remake you.
They break you down mentally, physically, humiliate you, do whatever they have to rewire you.